Hey beautiful people. What stories are you living by? What beliefs and thoughts run through your head day in, day out? Perhaps about yourself, about the world around you, about society, about government, about health, about pandemics, about the people that you love. For these stories are the things that are creating the reality that you live in. I've been diving deeper into the work, which is what Byron Katie's work is. And for anyone who's not familiar with her, I highly recommend checking her out. Her work helps us to dismantle beliefs and stories that we're living by that are creating a reality that we don't necessarily want to experience. And it allows us to create freedom. The energy since the winter solstice this Monday, and even in the days leading up to that, was quite deep and intense. We've moved into a new astrological sign. We've got this energy of going within. The winter solstice is the shortest day here in the southern hemisphere. It's about facing our shadows, seeing the darkness. What's there? What is there that we need to bring to life? When I've started to look at the stories in my world, what am I not being truthful about to myself? What am I seeing in others that triggers me or angers me, or in the world that is actually a reflection of how I feel about myself? What triggers me about myself? Because everything is a mirror. I believe that we are here to evolve. Our soul has chosen here to come into this lifetime in order to evolve, expand, understand itself, raise in consciousness. And to do that, we must be willing to face our own shadows, our own darkness, and what's inside. So as we move from winter solstice into this full moon illumination, anything that's still there, any of that darkness, any of that shadow might be coming even more into light. What is showing itself to you in your world, in your life, in your mind, in your heart, that you're ready to face? I want to offer you Byron Katie's questions today. But firstly, I want to invite you to think about something that really aggravates you, or angers you, or saddens you, or disappoints you. What is it? And think of it as something in the external for the first moment, because this can all be turned on into the internal, but it's great to start there. What's that belief? And the first question, is it true? Second question, can you know that it's absolutely true? Third question, who are you when you think that thought? What does it create in you? Sensations, feelings, more thoughts, behavior. Is that who you want to be? Is that what you enjoy? And the fourth question, who would you be without that thought? What would it open up? What would it change? How would you behave? How would you relate to others? How would you relate to yourself? When you've worked through those questions, it's then time to turn it around. So whatever you were thinking, whatever that belief was, whatever it is about someone else, let's say my thought is, I'm angry at the restrictions that are placed on us. And to turn it around, it's saying, I'm angry at the restrictions that I place on myself. When we start to turn it around, we start to be able to investigate what it is we're actually doing to ourselves. Sorry, baby. What it is what prisons we're creating. What limitations and boundaries and shields that we're putting up around our hearts. I know for me, over this winter solstice period and this week, it's really showing me some of those really old core wounds, those old underlying fears showing their little heads again. And it gets triggered by the most random things. And I find myself in that thought spiral. I wake up in the morning and it's an avalanche of thoughts coming in. And it's like, whoa, hold on. Is this me? Because I'm not my mind. I'm not this body. I am consciousness coming through this vessel and expressing itself as Jen in this particular incarnation, in this lifetime, in this time and place here on planet Earth. And the more we can start to do this inquiry, this self-work, the more we can start to recognize who we are outside of that. This beautiful divine essence, this divine being that's here for this experience, for this ride, for this expansion. As I delve deeper into my galactic lineage, into my connection with the Arcturians, when my activations or my awakenings get turned up a little bit, the volume all gets turned up, it can feel amazing. It can take me super high and I'm getting information that is out of this world. You know, my dreamscapes have been intense this last week. I'm taken into other people's lives. I'm living other people's experiences in those dreams. In my shamanic journeying and my connection to my guides and my intentional channeling with the Arcturians, I'm getting such a rich tapestry of information. When I'm doing client sessions and I'm channeling spirit for clients and tapping into their guides, the illustrative visions and channeled messages that come through are so profound, and they're so poignant and purposeful for not just them, but for a wider collective. Our divine being, who we are as a spirit, as an energy, has so much capacity and so much power. I want everyone to access this, to connect to that in themselves, and to be able to find the activations and the awakenings that feel right and feel good for you at this time. Because we can open up too quickly and too fast. I was speaking to a friend this morning and saying, you know, it's been a really intense week. I've had a lot of physical stuff going on, deep feeling of wiped out fatigue, head tension, high body temperatures, night sweats, nightmares, physical ailments. And it's all come on so quickly in a way that it's like, all right, there is some big physical, energetic manifestations of what's going on. For the week before, the connection and the communication with the Arcturians was ramped right up. So it's like what's happening is that we get to experience something on the energetic level, and then it has to have time to come in and affect our physical bodies. Because where our frequency is changing, the world and Earth's frequency is changing, so we are being forced to shift and grow along with that. So when I come back to everyone has their stories, it's okay. It's okay to have a story and to feel all the feelings around it. But I want to invite you to inquire about those feelings so that you can be feeling the true feelings around it, not the misconceptions that a mind and an ego can create around them. This then allows you to actually be processing and working with the core of what's going on, which helps you to grow, helps you to evolve, and gives you a greater sense of well-being, a greater sense of peace and love and happiness and fulfillment. I invite you to talk about your stories with others. Connect to conscious friends. Connect to conscious groups, whatever it looks like to you, so you have someone and somewhere to share this, to have a place for external processing. If not someone, write it down. It's a really great practice to use those 4 questions and the turnaround by journaling around it first. Having a friend to ask the questions of you and talking back and forth. This is what I want to offer you on this full moon, to help you to bring illumination to what's going on for you. You know, I could start telling myself that there's something seriously wrong with me, or maybe I'm hormonal and my hormones are making all these things, and maybe I need to do this and maybe I need to do that. Or I can just trust that my body is a very intelligent vessel, that it is always seeking to balance itself and heal itself. And whatever these symptoms are at the moment are a representation of that and are also communication. So I'm going to choose to listen. I'm going to choose to honor that I need more rest at this time, that doing my work in the world looks whatever it looks like at the moment. And I'm going to share with my loved ones and those around me what I'm going through, how I'm feeling, and my vulnerability in that. For when we show up in our vulnerability, we remove a shield. We let a shield go down that's stopping us from actually accessing what's going on. So from Elke and I, we wish you a beautiful full moon, post-winter solstice. I'd love you to share with me what you've been experiencing, what you've been going through, what energetic or spiritual or physical things are happening. And as I say this, I get a really high-pitched ringing in my right ear, which, again, another ascension symptom. It's time to do this journey together. It's time for us to really understand that we are spirits, that we are here on missions in this lifetime, and that we can do this. We can do this by really facing ourselves, diving in, being brave to look at our shadows, being brave to sit in the vulnerability and rawness of what we find, and knowing that there is light on the other side. There is love and laughter and so much joy ready for us to embrace as soon as we start to embrace ourselves. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful evening, and a beautiful week. And I look forward to seeing you soon.